Good evening, Papua New Guinea, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Business PNG for the year 2015. The 31st Annual Australia-PNG Business Forum and Trade Expo was held in the industrial hub of the country, Lae City, last week. Taking full advantage of the location, the delegates were treated to tours of the Hidden Valley Gold Mine, Ramu Valley Sugar Estate and Refinery, Oil Palm Plantation and Mill, just to name a few. The forum lived up to its theme of bridging the gap, meeting expectations, and saw heads of organizations from both countries discuss strengthening bilateral ties between the countries and moving forward in the Asian century. The Australia-PNG Business Forum took place last week in Lae City, the industrial hub of the country. Governor for Morobe Province, Kelly Naru, welcomed the delegates and invited them again the next time it is held in Papua New Guinea.
I compliment the Australia-PNG Business Council for organizing the event in Lae City for the first time. I understand this is the 31st forum, and so the question has to be asked, David, why has it taken so long to host one in Lae City, the industrial hub of Papua New Guinea? As the political head of Morobe, I humbly call upon the organizers to consider hosting the 2017 forum again in Lae.
Speaking before the forum, Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Richard Maru said PNG would be seeking more Australian investment in agriculture and other non-resource sectors.
We are shifting our focus to the sectors which will create the most employment, that are going to sustain our economy going forward, that's going to unleash our potential as a country.
On his part, his counterpart, Australian Minister for Trade and Investment Andrew Robb, said they would maintain their aggressive trade relationship with Papua New Guinea.
There's a great sense of long-standing collaboration and partnership, and whatever investment and prosperity we bring into either country, I think has the potential to advance both countries because of the collaboration and the association and the similarity in some of the great strengths that we have as neighbours. The strong bilateral relationships are, of course, a two-way thing, whether that's the flow of exports or imports and investment or capacity building through the provision of services and know-how.
He also urged PNG to take advantage of our resources and the proximity we have to the Asian countries and the predicted Asian century.
So, and it's not as though this is something in the future. It has started. This phenomena has started. 2 years ago we sold 60,000 tonnes of meat to China. Last year we sold 260,000 tonnes of meat to China. They went from our 12th biggest market to our 3rd biggest market in 1 year. Every day there are literally tens of thousands of litres of milk, pure milk, fresh milk in bladders, these big bladders, going out in the belly of aircraft up to China to be sold into the coffee shops, your coffee hopefully, coffee shops all over China, and we're getting between $12 and $20 a litre for that milk. The milk sells in Australia for $2 a litre. That is the sort of, now I'm not saying that's going to persist forever, but it does show you the demand that's coming down the line. And you look at Vietnam and Malaysia and Indonesia and India, they're all heading in the same direction. They're all behind China 10 or 15 or 20 years, but they're heading in the same direction. We've got to think of that. We're positioning ourselves to capture that wave. And we have got the capacity to do it. And you know, the fresh produce, the meat, the fruit and the vegetables, it is the century of food and water and energy security.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill conveyed a similar message, highlighting the long relationship between the two countries while seeking a relaxation of Australia's visa restrictions. However, during the forum, relations were further complicated when the PNG government placed a ban on all Australians travelling to the autonomous region of Bougainville, following Canberra's announcement of plans to open a new diplomatic mission on the island. Though it is early stages, this could see bilateral relations with our two countries go askew. Despite this hurdle, the forum continued positively, with PNG presenting its views from a positive strength. A stronger PNG economy and an attractive investment environment, Australia faces investment competition from growing economies in Asia, despite for decades being one of the biggest aid donors and investors to Papua New Guinea. Both countries are in general agreement that the growth in Asia and Australia, with Papua New Guinea's strategic position on the globe, places them at an advantage. The Australia-New Zealand Banking Group Limited recently announced the money-minded SME Business Basics program for its customers and the wider small business community in Papua New Guinea. Money-minded is an adult financial education program developed by ANZ in 2002 in consultation with community and government stakeholders and education experts. The program was launched here in PNG by ANZ in 2010. Since its introduction in Australia, Money-minded has been used extensively in assisting minority and disadvantaged groups.
Money-minded is a free financial education program. It offers you a series of interactive activities and resources to help you improve the way you manage your money. ANZ developed Money-minded with community and government stakeholders and education experts. It's delivered in partnership with community organisations. Since 2003, more than 240,000 people have participated in the program. 8 in 10 people who completed Money-minded felt less stressed about the future. The interactive activities cover a range of topics, such as goal setting, budgeting, and managing debt. Each activity takes between 8 to 15 minutes to complete. You can log on at any time and save your progress along the way. You can also access a bunch of useful tools and resources. Share your money tips with others. And read how Money-minded has improved the money skills, knowledge and confidence of other Australians. Thousands of people across Australia have experienced the benefits of Money-minded firsthand. We all want to feel more confident and in control of our money. Get started with Money-minded today.
Designed to educate participants about how to set up and manage a small to medium-sized business, the program will target startup or existing companies, promoting sustainable growth for both the SME sector and the PNG economy as a whole.
So the ANZ Money-minded for SME program is really designed and aimed at the small business community in Papua New Guinea. What we're doing with the program is we're really breaking it into 4 parts. The first part is the vision for a business and how a small business may think about what that vision is. The second part is how to set up the business, so IPA, tax, these kind of things. Third part is then actually how to plan for a business, so we help them with business planning and the like. And finally, it's about how to grow a business, which is obviously the most important part. The way we deliver it is through a facilitator. It's workshop-led. It's certainly not like a lecture-based program. And really what we've done is we've taken a lot of the learnings from Money-minded for individuals and how successful that has been in terms of delivery and applied it to small business.
ANZ CEO of PNG, Mark Baker, said that ANZ is pleased to provide its customers and the wider SME sector with the Money-minded SME Business Basics program, a significant milestone in the commercial bank's support of small businesses in PNG.
The business community for some time has been calling out for these kind of programs, and there's a few out there already. And the government have got some pretty ambitious targets for the number of SMEs that they want to have, and the target growth is 450,000. So the actual program actually came out interesting as a result of a conversation with the Prime Minister some months ago, where we were asking what he would want us to do. And he said, look, education for small businesses is really, really important. So we went away and then looked at what we do already with Money-minded and then just reapplied it.
SMEs account for 97% of all enterprises and employ over half of the workforce across APAC economies.
We've taken the lessons from how successful individual financial education has been through Money-minded and really applied it to this. So it's a workshop. It's not a lecture program. It's very easy for people to get involved. The only documentation that's really needed is the facilitator. The rest of it is really material that people can bring along or is easy at hand. It's run by our staff, by volunteers, so it's part of our community, our corporate social responsibility. So because of that, we're not trying to sell bank products. It doesn't actually matter where people are from. They can bank with any bank. It doesn't have to be with ANZ. So it's genuinely something we want to give to the community and really leverage the expertise that we've got and the experience that we've had. So it's completely neutral. Anybody can come along and it's free. That's the other thing.
Money Minded is ANZ's flagship financial literacy program designed to boost financial inclusion in communities where ANZ operates. So far, Money Minded has been successfully delivered to some 2,000 people in Papua New Guinea since it was introduced in 2010. ANZ has had a presence in Papua New Guinea since 1910.
Agribusiness is the business of agricultural production. The term includes agrochemicals, breeding, crop production, distribution, farm machinery, processing and seed supply, as well as marketing and retail sales. In this case study, we feature the innovative Agro Industry Limited, an Israeli company that is demonstrating the potential of Papua New Guinea's agro sector through the development of a large-scale fruit and vegetable farm in 9 Mile, just on the outskirts of Port Moresby.
Innovative Agro Industry, part of the LR Group, which specializes in the development, implementation and operation of agro-industrial projects in emerging markets, identified the opportunity to develop a commercial farm to help ease PNG's reliance on high-cost food imports. What once used to be the Port Moresby Showgrounds is now occupied by the 11-hectare farm in the suburb of 9 Mile. The farm was developed in partnership with the Jesus Christ Halfway House and Western Highlands Development, aiming to establish itself as a leading player in the PNG fruit and vegetable market by providing consumers with high-quality import replacement produce.
Okay, this is where we grow the tomatoes here. We have different varieties of tomatoes. We have cherry tomatoes, we have regular tomatoes. There are all types of tomatoes. As you can see here, we have a disconnected media that we plant our vegetables in. It's a grow bag. It's made up of shredded coconut husks and dried moss. And we use the fertigation system to give nutrients to the plants. We use a dripper here, as you can see. This is where the fertigation system comes through. The fertigation system is water mixed with fertilizer. We use the NPK fertilizer. So from the control house, we have programs that regulate how much dosage, how much water that comes into the greenhouses. So this is the dripper. From the supply, it comes through the dripper, and from the dripper, it goes straight to the roots of the plants. So from there, they can get all the nutrition they need to grow and to produce fruits here.
The first international exports of these lettuce and tomatoes were shipped about a week ago on the 12th of May from this farm. Now, the buyer in Fiji was McDonald's Fiji, who are known for buying fresh fruit products.
While the 28 million kina operation was officially opened in January 2014, seed planting started in late 2013, and the farm is now producing large quantities of affordable fruit and vegetables, including tomatoes, cucumbers, capsicums, and lettuce.
Here, Greenhouse 1, we have watermelon, we have melon, and we have zucchini. These are new types of varieties we're trialing out. We have the watermelon puma, and we have the melon alerio. So as you can see, in this greenhouse, we have bee boxes. These bees help in pollination, so to bear fruits. As you can see, they're planted a month earlier. So now it's a month now, and they're already starting to bear fruit. Production is ongoing. We have zucchini on the far end and watermelon in the middle.
So the melons and zucchinis found in this greenhouse, as well as fruits and vegetables found in the other greenhouses on this farm, will supply chain stores such as Stop and Shop and Waterfront in downtown Port Moresby. Now this is all for the purpose of stopping imports from other countries and supporting local farming and local growing. The farm uses a soilless direct irrigation system where the fruit and vegetables are grown in materials which feed the root system with the necessary nutrients in a controlled environment.
This is the nursery. Inside the nursery, we use the fertigation system as well. It's the water mixed with fertilizer. The boom irrigation system, it has nozzles on it. It has a drizzling kind of flow, so it's much more softer on the seedlings. So all the plants that we grow in the farm, all of it are nursered in here. So as you can see, these lettuce are ready for transplant now. They have fully developed roots. They can be transplanted early as next week.
The produce has been sold in supermarkets throughout Port Moresby, providing consumers with international standard fruit and vegetables, which are fresher than what is generally imported from countries like Australia. So I'm actually here in the 9 Mile Farms freezer. Now after the greenhouses, when it's been harvested, this is where it ends up, packed and weighed before it's shipped off to the shops. Now over here I have Benjamin. He's the manager of this packing team. Benjamin? Can you explain the process?
Our process here, we are doing it right now. From the farm, we get it from the harvest to here. We are in tomato. Normally we do tray packing for, especially for big clients like Waterfront. They get it with tray packing, and we pack them in loose in a carton, 10 kg, and then we supply it to the client. Like currently, like right now, we don't have much tomato because from the harvest came here, all of them it's going out to ourselves. So what comes from the farm, we pack it here, immediately it's go out.
So right now you can see the tomato is being packed up and ready to be shipped off to driven off to the shops. The business employs around 140 workers, mostly from the 9 Mile and Bomana areas, making it one of the largest employers in this area of Port Moresby. And that's all we have for you tonight. For more business news, if you would simply like to view this episode again, visit MTV online at www.mtv.com.pg, or to join the conversation, like our page on Facebook for daily business news, or follow us on Twitter at BusinessPNG using the hashtag BusinessPNG. Until next week, have a pleasant evening. I'm Leanne Jarari, and this is Business PNG.